Bangalore, or Bengaluru as it's officially known. Home to over 10 million people, and at an elevation of over 3,000 feet above sea level, it's the third most populous city in all of India and is the highest among the country's major cities. It is sometimes referred to as the Silicon Valley of India, but Bangalore suffers from some major urbanisation problems seen in many fast-growing cities in developing countries. Social inequality, mass displacement and dispossession, proliferation of slum settlements, and epidemic public health crisis due to severe water shortage and sewage problems in poor working-class neighbourhoods. These are issues the children we are here to coach face in their daily lives. Sports such as cricket and football are by far the most popular in the city, but we are here to learn, to develop, to coach, and to play rugby. Our journey across the world started back in London at Heathrow Airport, where the 2 p.m. departure meant the 10-hour flight would land in Bangalore around 4:30 a.m. local time the next day.
As Projo for this, it's been really busy trying to get everything organised. I've been back and forth with the guys out in India trying to get an itinerary ready in time for us to go. So it's going to be packed. We've got 10 days, some really unsociable hours of travelling. Flight times are going to be early, but it's going to be amazing. There's so much to do.
Namaste, namaste.
Really looking forward to going out there. It's an amazing opportunity that I just didn't think I'd get this early on in my career.
One of the main things that I'm a bit hesitant towards when we get out there is that I've been given the role of media. So that means that I'll be doing all the media opportunities that comes up and also dealing with the defence attaché. It's not something that I do on a day-to-day basis, but I'm hoping being out there will help develop me.
20 years of rugby on them toes, mate.
I'll get your toes out, yeah.
20 years of rugby, that.
And what better way to alleviate the jet lag than with some acclimatisation training in the local park. New to the RAF and new to the Spitfires, many players have little coaching experience. So to prepare, our senior players and head coaches deliver some fun sessions which all players will use throughout the trip.
Okay, so I need about 8 now, different game again, each person with one phone.
And in a country dominated by cricket, it wasn't long until we caught the attention of the locals, including a nearby television station.
So we had a flash hat with us on tour.
So the flash hat
was introduced a few years ago. We do it every tour.
Just as a little incentive to help people keep control of their emotions, especially when they're tired.
You flash out, you lash out, you get angry or just sort of lose your cool.
For JD, part of his proud Scottish heritage.
If you turn around and snap at someone, which is probably going to happen on these tours.
Hot, tired.
Travel, the early time.
We've had no sleep, we're doing a lot of physical activity.
So it's a bit of a laugh. Look, there's an absolutely ridiculous hat, go and wear it. So it forces you to start thinking about the situation you're in.
I blame the coach.
Not flashing though, not flashing. Not flashing.
I'm very actually.
I'll see you in a bit.
It's an incentive.
Not having a cheap, itchy, sway, dirty hat on their head for a few hours.
It was stupidly hot to wear the flash hat and it bounced around everyone.
I certainly became mates with the hat and it's currently sat in my room post-tour.
Just really sort of enforced the ability to control their emotions, which is something that they could definitely carry forward for their day-to-day jobs.
So as much as it's a complete laugh, you can take that back into the workplace or on operations. You are going to be in those situations That isn't just under 14s Indian kids screaming at you. You're going to be in a situation that could be life or death, or getting a jet out the door, and being able to make that decision calmly and effectively without flashing. It's actually quite a useful tool to take back. So a bit of fun, but also a really useful tool.
Have a man in the square and pass to him and catch in the area. Does that make sense to everybody? So if you catch it in the area, that'll be 1 point. As we go on, I'll just change the drill. I might pause it and ask for a constraint or something for you guys to add in. So a different rule, something like that. Just bear that in mind when we go forward to the coaching session for the kids.
Just when we thought it was time to catch up on some sleep at the hotel, we get a call from our friends at Khelo Rugby and from the defence attaché. It's time for our first media event and for our players to meet the people who have asked us to come to India. Sleep's gonna have to wait.
Very little sleep for any of us really. We had about an hour before we woke up to get news, and we'll come straight back out here.
Paul Walsh and Harinder Singh, who run Khelo Rugby across India, have become great friends of the RAF Spitfires over the years and have arranged for us to join their team, the Jungle Crows, as well as some of the Khelo coaches for a joint training session and media event.
There's 3 of us who've been to India before. The rest of our 17-man party are all new to India. So we come and get that experience. We go out and coach all the kids, and the guys absolutely love it. Absolutely brilliant experience for us, which is why we keep coming back.
Over 10 years ago, the Spitfires first visited India at the invitation of the Foreign and Commonwealth Office in New Delhi and rugby charity Khelo Rugby to help with an outreach programme using the core elements of rugby: discipline, teamwork, resilience and excellence, to help children from very poor and very disadvantaged backgrounds have opportunities they would not otherwise have. And of course, to put some smiles on their faces.
From me, it's my first time in India, first time with the Spitfires as well, so it's all quite a new experience for me. I think I can definitely say on behalf of all the lads here, we're all happy to be here. A little bit jet lagged today, a bit of a hard start as always. But yeah, we're all looking forward to getting out, helping with the kids and the communities, and then looking forward for the tournament and hopefully coming away with a big win. That's our main thing, I think. Sure you boys will make it hard for us.
This trip will also develop the Spitfires, not only as people, but as RAF personnel and as rugby players.
But exhausted after that, like just come off the plane, no real sleep. Heat is like not what you're going to expect. The little kids are like class, who've got so much fitness and speed. Just hard to keep up with them. Like, it's good though, real good. The kids are enjoying it like we are.
One of the key events planned for our trip was spending a day with the local school children, girls and boys of all ages and ability. The girls, as you will see, are often the leaders and are often better than the boys, which is brilliant in every way.
Not all of them are into rugby yet, but you can tell by being in this school they're definitely going to be.
We will coach some of them for the first time while providing a training opportunity for those familiar with the game.
So we've arrived at AET College today, loads of kids. We've been doing some coaching, quite basic stuff, but the kids have absolutely loved it. I think the main thing is just different faces, different people, and yeah, they've had great fun by the looks of it.
One particular challenge for the Spitfires was the language barrier, which tests your coaching and communication skills.
No, we're like this. So we need to stay two, you see, like before, in the grid, yeah, and move in. So we need to talk and stay together, yeah? Together.
What were we playing earlier? Touch with the ball.
Remember before?
You've all got to run.
You got to touch the ball.
Khelo Rugby does a huge amount of work with schools, and so we join them at 8 different schools across Bangalore.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah! Go! Go! Johnny! Yeah!
Started them off with a nice little just handling drills, going back and forth. Got to see what their sort of hands are like. Not bad at all. Then built it into a 2-on-1, and now just pulled it into a game of touch.
very hot and dusty out there, but the kids just absolutely love it.
What should we call ourselves? What name? Give me an animal. Lions. All right, sweet. So we'll be called the Lions. What do lions do? What do they say? Rawr. Yeah, so we've got... So what, they've gone tiger, so we need to get really loud and we all will go on 1, 2, 3 and we'll go Rawr. Let's go triangle. You make a triangle? Yeah, so 1 at the front, 2 behind. So if you go at the front here. Rawr!
They don't really know much about rugby, so these guys. So what I found is essentially I've needed to just break it down into little games as opposed to actually playing games of touch and whatnot. So different experience. Had to sort of pull a few different things out of the bag, but it's fun. Hot. So hot. It is very hot. Yeah, it's interesting. It's obviously a language barrier, but we're getting there. Cool. It's fun.
Bye bye.
Oh yes, he's alive. I thought he was dead. He's had a terrible time.
Really good to see. They're really engaged in everything you do, and they're just grateful for just giving them a bit of time and spending a bit of personal time with them. Loads of high fives and fist bumps and
high fives, big time.
Well, some of them showed real promise actually. The first groups, really good ball handling skills, really good fitness, really good awareness of what was going on. Which is always great to see for us when we come down here, and it means that feels like you're having a bit of an impact on what's going on.
Well, I hope we brought some skill to them really. Like, hopefully they're going to learn something what we go today and take it on further. And keep playing, hopefully Khelo Rugby will keep doing what they're doing really. The girls are probably that wee bit better. See, the girls standards are a bit better. We're switched on.
It's not just about throwing the ball around, it's about teamwork, communication. So loads of good examples of leadership and so it's the other kind of benefits of rugby, which just get from just throwing the ball.
So we're here at a Cult Fit gym in Bangalore with some of the coaches from Cult Fit. So Cult Fit, the relationship with us as in the RAF and Cult Fit is that probably about 10 years or so ago when we first started going to Calcutta and mixing with the Khelo coaches there, a lot of them came down to Bangalore for employment, and because they were fit athletes, they naturally went into the sports industry. They set up over 200 gyms around India now, and most of the guys who work in those gyms are part of the Khelo program. So to be able to come here and see their facilities and play with them, do some coaching is absolutely brilliant. And you know what they've done here is really, really impressive.
It's good quality in the end by everybody.
Did a bit out in the training ground back there, just a few little drills and everything with the Khelo lads and that, and then we've come in here. Tiger's taken a quick little CrossFit session for us, nice little burnout I'm sure.
very hot in this group. Do it! Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys.
Just arrived at the International Institute of Hotel Managers in Bangalore. Really warm welcome, which was great. Just made a chocolate cake, basically made that up in front of all the guys. Took about 10 minutes to prepare, and the way that we did it was we used a special cooker, so it took 3 minutes, and that was pretty much it to bake. Really nice actually, pretty basic, but obviously the sort of challenge of doing it in front of everybody was interesting. Obviously we come here to play rugby, but putting yourself outside of your comfort zone in a different situation is probably something that I didn't really anticipate. We're going to be doing a bit of blind taste testing.
Thank you. No. What was it? Well, it's water with, I recognise that as well, pea juice. Oh, what do they call it?
A lot of the guys at Khelo deal with get opportunities to come and study here. Hospitality management and chefing. Get some skewers, some chocolate cake, and some banana sort of fritter style, so it was cool. Had a good look around, and we got to eat it as well, so always a bonus.
What a boy! What a boy!
The day before our own tournament, the Spitfires had to bring out their inner rugby coach. With each player given a team in the Khelo Rugby 2020 Kids Tournament, bringing together kids and their coaches from local schools. This is a perfect opportunity to teach tactics, and sportsmanship, and challenge the young Spitfires as coaches. Also to get their own competitive levels raised for our big day, the Bangalore International Sevens tomorrow.
We're here to win.
I would have given that as a try all day long.
But most importantly, making sure the youngsters have a great day and enjoy everything that sport brings.
It's been an incredible day today. With the under-14s team, we've got a little 10-year-old who can just about manage to hold the ball, but he's still just dropping shoulders in left, right and centre, just taking out people 3 times the size. The mixture in abilities is unbelievable. We've got 3 girls and about 10 boys. So just managing that has been incredibly difficult. Minimum of 3 girls on the pitch the entire time, so they're having a terrible time.
Good team, we've called them the Irish Tigers. So, as you can tell, I'm Irish. The age group was a bit younger than some of them there, so we've took them to the side and sort of like teach them little basic skills in regards to like the handling and movement and trying to attack the space. I think we're developing, is the right word. So we're getting there. So far, so good.
I think there's going to be a lot of challenges. I think the main one is the fact that we're going out to coach kids, many of whom haven't actually played rugby before, and a lot of those who actually don't speak much, if not any English. So that's going to be really quite challenging.
We're in the finals!
With all the group games and semi-finals played, it was just the final. Max's team versus Jamie's. Max calls his team to one side for some last-minute preparations. And the whistle blows for full time as Max's team is victorious. For those not in the final, the lads indulged in a request from a couple of girls to allow them to apply some henna tattoos with some very dodgy spelling. We then feed the children, who have worked up one hell of an appetite before having to depart. And back to the hotel for an early night before our tournament tomorrow.
This is one of the big things that we've come for. We haven't lost here in India before. A little bit of pressure for that. What we've done over the last couple of days has been absolutely amazing. Let's take that now into today with the same sort of energy you put in with the kids into the tournament. But what I want you to do is just think about a couple of little things. I love it. If you make a mistake, you miss a tackle or whatever it might be, it's going to be hot. You're going to be dehydrated. Everyone's knackered because we've been full on for the last couple of days. Get up off the floor, just saying, I love it. I love it. That's why I'm here. That's why I play. Okay, that's why all those kids play. They've all got smiles on their faces. I want you to be exactly the same. And the other thing is just the energy. Try and get that energy. Try and G each other up. Okay, and let's just put everything into this. I love it. Energy, enjoyment. Playing against guys who we really like. Okay, really enjoy being with, but don't show them any respect on the pitch.
Cheers guys, thank you.
After a turbulent start, the Spitfires managed to win all their group games, setting up a final with their toughest challenge. Indian champions, the Jungle Crows.
Class game. Oh, nice, Harry. Well done, mate. That's nice. Guys.
In you come, guys, in you come. Boys, this is what it's all about. This is why we come out here to play. Well done to every single one of you. Doc included, you've had a hard shift today as well. And we get to go home with an absolutely awesome trophy. You've been awesome, and the work you put in is brilliant. For a team that's not played together at all, not even just a little bit at all, amazing. You should all be really proud. Well done, boys.
But obviously, thanks to the Doc, JD, and Tim. Obviously, we wouldn't be here without him. Chad, I know you've had an input as well. It's been good. Tearing up.
Look around right now. Look around right now and look at all the smiles on your faces. Everyone that's come here, not a lot of us have known each other before this. This is what it's all about. This is rugby through and through.
Game changers, Nick. Great shift in that last half, mate. Really great shift, mate. Yeah. Echo what guys said. Really proud to play alongside you guys, and we're looking for the future now. And that's what Tim said about things we could have done better. Let's build on that, because we expect to see each and every one of you at the next tournaments building harder tournaments, harder games to come up against, and we'll excel like we have today. So well done.
I present the winning trophy to the RAF Spitfires.
We've battled heat, injuries, teamwork has been awesome.
Jungle Crows gave us a tough game. The guys did really well to dig in when it's sometimes really tough to get the result.
Came up against the Jungle Crows, which was the hardest match we could face.
Very good team. It was a tough match.
A really busy day, really busy, probably the busiest I've ever been. Luckily, no major injuries to the Spitfires, and everybody will live to play another day of rugby.
A bright and early 2:30 AM wake-up call, as today we make our way up north to arrive in time for a kids coaching session this afternoon.
10 to 4, we're in a airport somewhere.
Before we went, I wanted to bring back a nice souvenir, something to really remember the trip by and look back on. We discussed it with Ash, and then we both decided that it would be nice for us to buy each other gifts.
I think the trousers have gone down well. All the locals seem to love the gift that Ash got me. Had a few bizarre looks. If you have a little smell of Ash, got some nice expensive perfume for him, man. It smells terrible. It smells absolutely terrible. Have you smelled it? Well, honestly, it's the worst thing I've ever smelled.
We're departing from Bangalore on an early morning flight to Bagdogra, an Indian Air Force base and small commercial airport just south of the Himalayas. Once the cars were loaded, we then headed off to the village of Saraswatipur, a tea plantation located deep in elephant country in the heart of the jungle, a stone's throw from the Himalayas. The usual route through the jungle has been closed off due to recent heavy rainfall. Meaning an alternative route has to be found. However, this new route involves dirt tracks, small villages, and included a railway crossing.
We're waiting for that train down there, which has got about 300 carriages behind it, so we're going to be stuck here for a while.
With the train through, we're on our way.
It's going to be fairly uncomfortable, especially when we go up into the village. There's no luxuries there. It's pretty raw, rugged. You're out there sleeping on a bit of foam that thick.
After a slightly longer than planned drive, we arrived to a special welcome at the village.
Too big, try ready to be gone.
It's my third time to the village, and every time it never ceases to amaze me.
In other culture, they cut ribbon things.
We had the grand opening of this new community centre. It's still a work in progress, but we're staying in here tonight, which is exciting. Something a bit different for us again. We had 5 of our guys, in Hindi tradition, is breaking coconuts on the doorsteps. So they smash the coconuts and they walk in.
Upon our arrival, we have the honour of officially opening the new community centre, which is still in the process of being built. It's here where we'll be staying for the next 3 nights. Saraswatipur is home to only a few hundred people, but nearly all of them either work in the tea plantation factory or out in the fields picking tea leaves.
Broken bike.
It wasn't long until we were asked to join the villagers in a game of cricket.
That's quick. Oh, oh, he nailed it.
Then in the afternoon, we split up for activities with some of the local kids. While a few of us stayed here, some of the lads visited the next village, which is about a 40-minute walk away.
ground's a bit hard, solid pillow, so I'm not looking my freshest. A few issues earlier. We had a dog constantly barking, and then I went out to check on it, went quiet, came back. As soon as I got back, started barking again. Apart from the dogs, work bikes, Chad snoring. That wasn't too bad.
Yesterday we went and coached some more kids. They don't have schools in these particular villages, so we went up to another village about a 40-minute walk from here. There were about 100 kids there and they were really keen to get involved. Probably the best part of the trip for me, to be honest.
Looking forward to today. The guys in the village are organising a surprise for a celebration of Holi Festival. This is going to be my first time experiencing Holi, although my third time in the village. This will be the first time doing that, so I'm excited to see what they've got in store for us. It should be good, hence why we're all ready to go in white.
Holi, also known as the Indian Festival of Spring, the Festival of Colours, or the Festival of Love, celebrates the arrival of spring, the end of winter, and the blossoming of love. The locals here started Holi celebrations last night, but this morning begins a free-for-all festival of colour, where people smear each other with colour and drench each other using things like water guns and water balloons. Anyone and everyone is fair game.
This is absolutely mad. I've got to ambush my kids out of nowhere.
Absolute carnage, just amazing. Kids are coming up, lots of paint, lots of colour, lots of dancing.
What an experience. They're up on the balconies, up on the top of roofs, top of buildings, literally come out of nowhere.
One of the unique elements of staying in the village is the hospitality we always receive. Every day we were treated to breakfast, lunch and dinner on an open fire.
The hospitality was second to none. We'd wake up to freshly cooked curries to get us set up and ready for the day, and then we'd come back and there would already be food cooked, waiting for us on our return.
One evening, we were lucky enough to be shown how they make their chapatis. And of course, we had a go at making them ourselves.
This is our final day, which is sad because we've all enjoyed it so much. I have personally, seeing the way that people live and everything like that does make you appreciate how lucky we are back home. I've still got a nice bit of purple in the hair, so not the easiest to get off.
After we managed to scrub as much of the colour off ourselves from yesterday's holy celebrations, it's time to play some rugby. Khelo Rugby has arranged for over 200 kids from a few of the local villages to play in a tournament that we will run, referee and coach at. So no pressure then. With English being spoken far less here than in Bangalore, things are about to get quite challenging for the lads.
Very difficult at times with them speaking little to no English.
Just teaching them how to do a switch now, so hopefully they'll get that into the game. It's difficult though with language barrier, but it seems like it's working.
As the games went on, it was clear to see some of the competitive spirit shining through again.
We won again. We're clearly on a path to victory.
He has a 21-year-old in his team. He's so fast.
So
not fair. Not fair not having it.
A bit of passionate coaching from some of the other Spitfires.
I can't see Chad's in the way.
Yes!
Knock on, we'll have that. A complaint from our team that they're handing off. If you could just have a look at that.
Offside rule. They not 10 metres back, they're all offside.
So as you can see, I'm dealing with two petulant coaches.
Some being more competitive than others, it would seem.
If you're managing your team correctly. I've got two teams, mate. I've got first half team, second half team. I'm managing the team correctly.
I am very competitive. I will want to win, but I'll have to tone that down a little bit.
Just had the really fun part of telling the older kids that it's not all about winning.
Was it? No, we scored at the end.
Down at 2-2.
Oh, we're getting played there. Then we scored, and then they dropped it in the corner.
No.
And then that was turnover, and then it was all about play.
Didn't score the second one.
It's hot, but even the Scottish skins handling it okay.
Ash, it's not about winning, mate. It's about developing children and enjoyment.
Some of them having a bit of a laugh, enjoying the day out in rugby.
When I was distracted by the elephant over there and missed the third score and then tried to make it 2-2, yeah, no. I completely forgot that they scored 3.
So we lost in the semi-final. Put on the developmental squad. They lost as well, but it's all about the fun, so.
Oh, phenomenal hands from my team. I'd like to thank myself for that.
You're right, you just get some coaches who just don't want the kids to play, do you?
No.
Just don't want the kids to play. All about winning, and they're putting their 18-year-olds on against 9-year-olds, and well, I think the real winner should have been rugby. Unfortunately, some coaches just don't see it that way. Oh, I think the score's irrelevant, really. I think kids having fun's the main thing. The score doesn't really matter when the kids got smiles on their faces, does it?
It's 5-1. 5-1 to Sunrise. Came out with a big win.
Enjoy making little kids cry. Sick. Sickening.
But that competitiveness has paid off as Ash's team win the tournament.
Ash won that, did he?
Yeah, I won that, yeah. As much as it loathes us.
Come away with a big win, didn't we?
Winning team, Sunrise!
And the Spitfires have the honour of handing out the prizes. Kit and gifts generously provided by our sponsors Canterbury and Shepherd Neame Spitfire Ale, which always put massive smiles on the children's faces. One really important aspect of the work that Khelo Rugby do is feeding the children at these events, which we provided a helping hand in doing so after the tournament had finished.
It's been an amazing trip. The past few days in this village is massively humbling. The people of the village are inspirational. hopefully we come back out next year and we get to see all the kids that we coached this year.
Sadly, it's now time for us to leave Saraswatipur and begin our 30-hour journey back home to the UK via a short stop in Bangalore.
It's been amazing, and just seeing some of the kids out here, it's motivational. You give them a Spitfire ball, they love you for life. Quite inspirational seeing them.
The biggest issue is the language barrier, getting around that by using different aids, drawing things on the floor, or sort of acting out things with your hands. I think that really helped develop me and other people around us as well.
It's amazing to see how the children are so happy all the time. They have literally nothing. They'll play cricket with a stick and a ball, and you see back home the children are upset if they don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation. You come out here, they haven't even got running water, and they're so happy. It's just amazing to see.
The biggest thing I'll take away from this is the cultural differences and how much we just coming here and spending a bit of time with them just matters so much. I'll definitely be taking that back and not taking everything for granted.
The biggest part for me, looking in from the outside at myself and my development over the past 9 days or so, is how much of a leader you can actually be within yourself without even knowing about it. I'd like to see myself pushing forward into more of a senior role in my workplace as well as rugby. Biggest thing for me, just how personal development and your personality can actually reflect on others and how it can actually raise the morale of the people around you, not just yourself.
Nice!
They have got very little, but they try to give so much. I'm going to take that back to the workplace. You know, it's a very alpha male-ism kind of place, and try to be more of a well-rounded person.
And one final challenge to solve. How do we get this amazing elephant trophy home?
Taking it with us and carry it on. Thankfully it's really small. We've got a backup option waiting as well.
So coming through with the trophy, a little bit awkward trying to get my passport out, but she got through no problem. She looks all right in the box.
Thank you for all your efforts. Take time to reflect on what we've done. Right, you guys have had a massive impact on a lot of people's lives out there. It's not a usual rugby tour. 1, 2, 3. Spitfires!
So what have I learned from the trip? One of the main things that I've definitely taken from the tour is being a lot more tolerant towards people, and there was a large language barrier there, but we all had the language of rugby, luckily enough, that definitely helped to break that down.
The language barrier is going to benefit me, especially in the future. I knew it was going to be difficult, but I certainly didn't think it'd be that tricky to communicate with the kids in a training environment. As a military, we work with loads of different allies from different countries, and when we do work with those different coalitions, we're not necessarily going to speak the same language all the time, and if we do, potentially not as well as we'd like. So really do think it's important to take the skills that I've learned on this tour and actually bring it into my career in the future.
The biggest thing I've taken from this as a tour in itself is being the prodigal for it. My organisational skills, I've had to go sky high through this. Bringing it back into the workplace, I feel far more organised already, so it's been really beneficial.
Since the trip, I've really been able to bring back some of the key values that we adopted out there. So being able to persevere through in times of extreme fatigue and really maintain that positivity.
One of the things that I'm very grateful for from the tour is actually the media opportunity. When I was first going, I was a little bit hesitant towards it, giving briefs to the children over there and then to the defence attaché. And then now when I'm back, I'm giving briefs in work. I've definitely felt that I'm a lot more confident when I'm speaking.
Prior to this tour, I hadn't actually played much, if any, sevens whatsoever. I come from a 15s background. If you asked anyone that I'd played with when I was growing up, they'd probably be a bit confused at the fact that I'm playing sevens now, being in the front five. So actually having the opportunity to step into the back line, I think for one, was really strange but exciting, and it's helped to actually develop and broaden my skill set. Hopefully as I go into the future, whether that be 15s, sevens, hopefully that'll just help me to build upon the skills that I've now learned.
This is my first time coaching out there as well, so it's all fairly new to me, but with Tim helping me out, it was really good. But seeing the guys develop over such a short period was amazing. So you had some guys, obviously they've never met each other, but they're coming into a group that we'd like to think we've created a fairly open atmosphere. And they've just flourished. They've gone through, they're coaching the kids, they're running up games, they're high-fiving, they've all come really out of their shell, got together really well. It's been brilliant to see them develop as players, coaches, and then hopefully they can take everything they've done out there back into the workplace.
So sport's an incredible opportunity within the RAF. I've been incredibly fortunate to travel to 5 or 6 different countries.
I know it's not exclusive to rugby sevens. There's a lot of sports and organisations in the Air Force that will go away and do similar things in really quite unique locations. So I would hope to think that I'll have a similar opportunity in the future.
Some trades haven't got the opportunities to travel so much as others, so sport is a perfect opportunity to counter that balance. In the years to come, I fully intend to keep going with the sevens setup. I think it's an incredible setup that they've got there, and the opportunities for travel are immense. So incredibly fortunate to be a part of that setup, potentially look to take on some more responsibility to help out with incredible trips such as this one.
My main reason for joining was the sporting opportunities. My brother's in, and I knew he's had loads of opportunities to go away with sport, so when I got involved with the RAF Sevens, it was an absolute blessing. So we've been lucky to go away all over the place. It's so unique, because you wouldn't get this in the civvy world. They're not going to send me out to India to go and coach kids for 10 days. So it's a completely unique experience, and sports allowed me to travel and go and see different places. My job, I've only been away on operations, so you don't really go out and explore and see the culture and take it all in. So having these opportunities through sport and through the sevens in particular has really allowed me to develop as a person and get out and see a bit more of the world.